Welcome to another episode. Derek Muhammad Show. It's first top of the week. I missed the show yesterday, but we've been busy. But I saw something, and I want to make sure everybody out there, please share this. Hit like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this, start a watch channel. We about to indulge into a conversation about the silent, loud, and cold war on black people in America. And this is part one. Now check this out. I saw, and I'm going to play it soon, I saw an interview that Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony did on his podcast, okay? And what he was talking about is he was exposing the corruption in hip-hop from a letter that was publicized anonymously back in the 90s. Okay, and I'm gonna let him explain what the letter said shortly, but I want to walk you down the yellow brick road, okay? See, we black folks, we so passive, we just happy not to be in Jim Crow, not to be in slavery on a plantation, and we got a little bit to call our own, right? I get it, I understand. But just because you free don't mean you free. When they emancipated you, emancipate means to let go but still control. So they never really made us free. They never really made us equal. Thus, here we are. So you'll say, Derek, well, we're doing well. People getting paper. Let me just tell you something. Yes. But as you do know, no matter how high a black person get in this society of white supremacy in America or in the world, they have a propensity to always throw shit on them. Do I need to read? Michael Jackson, most famous person in the world. Long as he was just singing and performing. But when he spoke to Steven Spielberg, Katzenberg, Geffen, he said, look, I want to do something to help my people. You know, he think he talking to his friends. They was like, no, nigga, you just sing and dance. So immediately they went after him because he was too powerful and he was too influential, and they didn't want his influencing to stop the mental control and the economic control, the social control, the cultural control that the people in the industry had on the masses. So he went from king of pop to wacko jacko. False claims of pedophilia and child molestation, and none of them was proven. Now they got these lying ass demons coming out 20 years later talking about, he touched me. They made this porno shit about King. I'm surprised Oprah even put that bullshit out. And all that shit was a lie, and he ain't even here to defend himself. Why is that? Why do they destroy our legacy, our legendary people? Why do they do that? Because they want to keep you away from your greatness. So you always, black people, shit on one another. They don't shit on theirs. Trust me, Ben Franklin was a pervert and a pedophile his goddamn self. They found a whole bunch of dead children under his house in Philadelphia, but they won't put that shit in the mainstream, and you'll take that $100 bill and you ain't burning it up either. And I ain't. Because they don't shit on their own. So I'm going to tell you right now, stop jumping on people's bandwagon about our heroes. Why are we allowing them to choose our heroes for us? They weaponize shit. They weaponize education. I remember being in elementary school. The books was old as fuck. Didn't learn shit, really. Just the basic lie. George Washington didn't tell a lie. That's a goddamn lie. You know. All men created equal under Thomas Jefferson, beautiful words. That was a goddamn lie. Shame on that motherfucker right there. Him and those people that signed that beautiful Constitution. Goddamn lie, right? Huh? He wrote the beautiful words while he was banging his black slaves and allowed his children, his black children, by the way, live in slavery. But all men created equal because he didn't want to pay taxes to the British monarchy. The fuck out of here with that. And nobody want to give it plain to you. Huh? I'm going to say it louder and the people back can hear me. Nobody want to give it plain, right? So make sure you share this, hit like, subscribe. We're going to open up this can of whoop ass tonight. Because I got to shed the light, shine the light to get us out of this fog we in. Everything ain't right. Everything ain't equal. And that's okay. But we got the power to make it equal and make it right. Soon as we stop waiting on motherfuckers outside our community to do something for us that we can do for ourselves. I'm going to say that shit again. Soon as we stop waiting on people outside our community to do something for us that we can do for ourselves. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Not one soul. And rightfully so. Save your goddamn self. Huh? God said he will not change the condition of a people until they change it themselves. Okay, so it's changing time. Huh? Change that you can believe in. Hope for the future. I remember Dick Gregory say, hope? You can't eat hope. I used to sleep with hope. I did eat hope too. But that's a whole nother conversation. What I'm saying is hope, you got to, fuck hope, you got to apply yourself, motherfucker. You got to make that shit happen. Fuck hoping, waiting, wishing. Fuck that shit. Do you know you the original man? You the original black woman? You just been far removed. I understand you got amnesia. You been hit in the head, buried in the shallow grave. They got a little sprig sprouting up, saying that it's life under there, but you waiting on a master grip to come raise you up from the mental grave that you in. Hiram Abiff. That's for all those Masons out there. All right? Gotta raise your black ass up so you can walk into your own power. And they hide it. And it's in symbols and shit. And goddamn nursery rhymes. Humpty Dumpty. All the king. He fell off the wall. The king couldn't even put his ass back together again. Because he was a motherfucker. Huh? He fell off the wall. You fell off the wall, black man. I get it. But we about to put your black ass together like the Bionic Man. We like Steve Austin up in here. Huh? Remember the Bionic Man? Huh? I love the Bionic Man. We got to make him faster, stronger, better than before. That's who we are. But we ain't taking no goddamn vaccines. I'm telling you that right now. Hiram Abiff. Ha! That's right. Hiram Abiff, man. Okay, so that's right, Reginald Turner. Hiram Abiff. Now, check this out. They weaponized our culture and they're using it against us. Now, this is part one. I'm going to go down the timeline and bring you up to where I want to drop you off into some funk. So fuck with me on this, okay? Once we got out of slavery, we didn't know how to read. We didn't know how to write. We didn't know how to do shit. What label salam, Sister Wendy? We didn't know how to do shit. Illiterate slaves walking off the plantation. Nowhere to go. Homeless like a motherfucker, right? All we had was our skills. Now we got our skills and we got each other. There was more unity in the black slave codes than we have right now, right? We didn't do some of the bullshit we did back then that we do to each other today because we've been weaponized. We've been made monsters and sociopaths by ultimate monsters and sociopaths. Now, I'm not talking about black versus white. I'm talking about good versus evil. Now, you can separate that, fuck with me. If you can't, sorry. Maybe you get a fuck you. I don't know. But what I am saying is the bona fide, undisputed truth. We have to get our mind right. So work with me here. We come up out of Jim Crow, not Jim Crow. We come out of slavery. Dumb as hell. But we got skills. So we lend our skills out. We had, as you know, we had millions of acres of farmland after slavery. Blacks wasn't allowed to buy, so they went out in the woods, cut down trees, built their own civilization out there. Then the Jewish merchants came, said, damn, they would come sell their shit. And went back to them white folks and said, you know them niggas out there got a damn whole city, some mills and shit? What? Yeah, I don't know. They about to run you out of business. Yeah, and the Klan started, come burn down the goddamn. And the sheriff was a part of it, so who you gonna go? Who gonna protect you? Nobody gonna save you. We had to save ourselves. White Jesus wasn't around. And if you catch white Jesus, I want y'all to do me a favor, put your foot up his ass for being a fraud. Okay? We need to try him with the rest of those evil bastards. Because white Jesus ain't shit. Okay? Black Jesus, a whole nother thing. White Jesus, he ain't shit. All right. I got to be hard on white Jesus because it's 2020. He got a pass a couple years ago. He gets no more passes now. He's a fraud. Okay? His check bounce. Okay? Revoke his black card and exile him back to the hells he come from. Good evening, Janine Hubble Cox. What up, sweetie pie? Renee Portis, walaikum salam. Okay, so fuck with me on here on this, right? And make sure you share this, hit like. We about to go down the history. So we didn't know how to read, so we learned how to read. We learned how to write. We had our own colleges. We went to school with our own self. We're producing doctors and lawyers and chemists and scientists and school teachers and engineers and Jim Crow. God damn, we genius. Let me just tell you something, black man and woman. If you can make it in America, as all the barriers, all the conflict, all the lies, all the change of rules, all the injustice, and you got to be a genius. Huh? You are beyond genius. But we've been hitching our wagon to people who've been taking our wagon off the road, driving in the creek, setting that shit on fire, and we wondering what the hell happened. That's right, Wendy. We had Black Wall Street. And we ran that shit. They owed us so much money. We had all of them in debt. So they tripped on us, lied, talking about some guy that accosted a white woman. He was an elevator operator. She bumped into him. They said he accosted her and they wanted to hang him. And we wasn't having it, but it was just a false flag operation to kill the niggas, burn their businesses down, and destroy the black community in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And the American government is complicit because they dropped the bomb on us. Tulsa, Oklahoma. They dropped the bomb on us in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. Same way they dropped the bomb on the MOVE project in Philadelphia in 85, 86, 86. They dropped the bomb on the MOVE operation. Huh? God damn. Huh? And we loyal, fighting all their wars, won all the Olympics and shit. You know what I mean? Got the culture popping, right? If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't even have jazz. I'm talking about in America. They wouldn't have rock and roll. You know they love their rock and roll. They hijacked that shit like they doing hip hop right now. They wouldn't even, we sang country. Okay, but we'll let them have a little of that country, that bluegrass shit. Okay, some hillbilly shit. Go on and have that, all right? We'll give you that. But we had the rock, we had the jazz, right? We had R&B, we had soul music, disco, and then, Bee Gees was cool, but hell, Donna Summers, man, Diana Ross, man. Come on, man. All right. Hey, look, what else we had? Hip hop. And this is what I want to get to. They weaponized hip hop. Say that again, Derek, so the people in the back can hear you. They weaponized hip hop. When you say weaponized, Derek, what do you mean by that? They weaponized hip hop. Just like they weaponized medicine. Just like they weaponized education. Just like they weaponized the food. The food used to be organic. Now you got to pay extra to get some organic food. Who the fuck let that shit into play? All the congressmen, we need to break up the paperwork, who signed off on that shit need to be arrested for mass murder. GMOs in your fucking food for shelf life and cancer? Black people didn't even get cancer at one time. They went out, grabbed this black woman, Henrietta Licks. Henrietta, you know what I'm talking about, Lakes, and did experimentation to find out why black folks didn't get cancer. Oh, this how we can give them cancer after experimentation go, and now we leading people with cancer. That was a white man disease. Our melanin allows us to have it. But they damn sure figured a way to give it to you, huh? Oh, they weaponized medicine. They weaponized the food. Hell, they weaponized marriage. I remember it was time when you was proud to be married. Women couldn't wait to get married. Now they having divorce parties. And they still alone and miserable. Let me tell you something right now. We all need a quarantine. This is why God put the quarantine and pandemic in place. Because we all needed to get quiet and listen to our demons and kill those motherfuckers, or those demons was going to kill us. It was just strong to survive. That's what happened since quarantine, right? All right, so if you come out better after this quarantine, you've been working on yourself, and salute to you. If you come out fucked up, then you deserve to be coming out fucked up, right? Because you took no time to do anything to benefit and better yourself. And I can't do shit about that. You know what I mean? That's on you. You can't even blame the white man on that. That's on you. You feel me? He allows you to be home from work. You working in your drawers, eating cereal and shit. And you couldn't better yourself during this quarantine time. Shame on you. Shame on you. Damn. Wendy, they said, I'm pro-marriage. That's right, pro-marriage. You know, marriage is a civilization. They didn't even allow slaves to get married. Have you jump in the broom? That's some coon, some slave master shit. Just make mockery of you. Then after you get married, he go lay down with your wife. What kind of shit is that? But what I'm getting at right now, we so far removed from who we really are. We look in our mirror and still have amnesia. I get it. I understand. It's okay. I understand. It's okay. But let me say this to you, right? What I am saying to you is right now in 2020, we ain't got no more time for half stepping, because God is at the door to lay down justice, and we need to make a decision. Is we rocking with God, the universe? If y'all don't believe in God, I'm just gonna say, hey, the universe. We rocking with right, or we fucking with wrong? We rocking with God, or we fucking with Satan? We rocking with good, or we fucking with evil? You got to make that damn decision. This is like that scripture. We gonna separate the wheat from the tare. You have at it. Coronavirus is weaponized right now. That's right. And they want to do another vaccine like the Tuskegee experiment. Exactly. And they gonna whip my little poor Tiffany Haddish out telling people to get vaccinated. She don't know nothing about that bullshit. She tell jokes. Huh? They should have called me up. I'd have first off smacked Fauci right in the goddamn face. But he probably was on a Zoom, so I had to act like I smacked him in the face. Wow! Murderer! Where you at, Bill Gates? Punch you in the face, Bill Gates. This is all for if NFAC, or not NFAC, but if Secret Service watching this shit, I'm just having fun and talking figuratively. But if they do get smacked in the face by a motherfucker on the street, good for them. It's good karma. Because these murderers, okay? Murderers. Fauci, Bill Gates, murderers. The government been killing black folks for years. And let me step my game up, right? Because I mentioned how they weaponize food, how they weaponize music, how they weaponize education, how they weaponize the music, the movie industry, how they weaponize television and cartoons. Man, you can't even let your kids watch these cartoons. They got Billy Porter on Sesame Street confusing the fuck out of little kids. Who let this motherfucker in there? You need to be hanging out with goddamn RuPaul on WeTV or whatever fucking episode that is, and leave them kids alone, Billy Porter. Huh? And I'm going to tell you what the ultimate goal is before I go to my next subject. You know what the ultimate goal is? They want to legalize pedophilia. Yeah, they do. They using homosexuality as the Trojan horse. Yeah, they are. Derek, no, they're not. You're acting homophobe. I ain't scared of no homophobes. No, I ain't scared of no homosexuals. No. Some of my friends, I'm in the entertainment business. I know homosexuals. They ain't no pedophiles. Huh? So who you sleeping with is who you sleeping with. The fuck that got to do about voting? Huh? The fuck they got to do about getting pulled over by the police? Huh? Unless you got a rainbow on the fucking... I ain't seen the police pull no gay guy out and whoop his ass in the middle of the street. I ain't seen the police pull over dude on his bicycle with some hot pants on and shoot him 20 damn times in the back because he had a bicycle violation. No, they do that to masculine black men. Huh? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Renee, you say, and they had a nerve to tell you they're eating missing children in your McDonald's. They tell you that you are eating missing children in your McDonald's breakfast. Hey, they probably are. I have no idea. I would not be surprised in that if they grinding babies up and putting them in your damn burgers. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the burger count on McDonald's versus cows is off. I don't know what the fuck y'all eating McDonald's, but it ain't real beef. They lying to you. And they got to compete with Wendy's and Burger King too. Them motherfuckers is lying. So you eat McDonald's at your own risk. Huh? Fast food is fast death. Right. Curtis, Statue of Liberty is a prostitute. Okay. You probably telling me something I have not been privy to, but I'm going with it, Curtis Muhammad. She was a prostitute and they called her Statue of Liberty. Black woman, I know. So she was a prostitute. Okay. All right. Have at it. Let's get to this subject right here. The weaponization of hip hop. I'm going to play this for 12 minutes, right? And what it is Busy Bone. I don't know if y'all familiar, not Busy Bone, Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Ohio player. I'm from Ohio, right? He's from Cleveland. So he got a podcast. And in the podcast, he's talking about this letter that this music gazette wrote about this meeting he went to. Now, he's not in it. It's an anonymous letter. But I'm going to tell you right now, the results of the letter makes this letter 1,000% true, right and exact. Okay? So he's exposing the plot, how they weaponize hip-hop in conjunction with mass incarceration, in conjunction with the Clinton-Biden crime bill, in conjunction with, I remember being in the club and there was so many dudes per woman. I remember in the Navy, man, it used to be like 10 dudes versus one chick in the club. After the Clinton crime bill, 15 women to one dude. Where are the dudes that in jail or dead? And then they weaponize homosexuality, so now these dudes become homosexuals early on because they send them to juvie and let them have their way with each other and in prison. And then they weaponize sex, and then they put HIV in there. They put HIV in a damn polio vaccine and gave it to all the Africans. And then they had a nerve to tell you you can only get it from intravenous drug use or being a homosexual. Ain't none of that shit in Africa. But Bill Gates and them and his World Health Organization and all those murderers did that shit to Africans. And now Africa had lost a whole bunch of people. And I'm saying this to sound an alarm. Because if y'all keep fucking around, ain't gonna be many of us left. And I'm here to save you. As a civilized man, my duty is to teach knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement to the uncivilized people. So I don't want blood in my hand. I gotta drop these bombs. I don't give a fuck who like it or what. I don't care. It's my duty to share this truth. And if I don't, shame on me. But here I am. But once I say it to you, it's on you to accept it or let it alone. Take it or let it alone. So I'm gonna move to this. Make sure you share, hit like. Let's get to this nitty gritty with this, with what I want to share right now. Okay. So we gonna go here, and here it is. All right. This is Crazy Bone. There's 12 minutes of some interesting shit here, I tell you.
All of hip hop artists and hip hop fans, that we have been had again.
Damn.
We've been bamboozled.
Could wait.
Let us stay, I tell you.
All the Malcolm X words.
Once again, you know what I'm saying? Now, a few of y'all might have already heard about this, about how the music industry has very, very close ties with the private prison system.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because the music business has invested millions of dollars in the private prison system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You heard it correctly. again, the music business and the entertainment business in general, meaning people who control the media, the music industry, and also
Publication,
private prisons.
yeah, magazines, all that.
Somebody somebody sent me an article, like I think it was like 6 or 7 years ago.
Right.
And I read this article, bro, and I was like absolutely shocked, very shocked.
Talk to us.
In fact, I want to read this letter, this article, but it's actually a letter that was written by somebody that was a decision maker at a major label.
Shot call.
And he said, you know, he was invited to a very special meeting about the future of hip hop back in 1991.
Okay.
So here's what he said. This is how the events went down at the meeting.
Break it down, man.
Okay, just ride with me, okay? Because I'm reading this. This is real. Hold on, wait. Let me try to.
Way out article too, man. You know what I'm saying? When you told me on telephone about this, wait till y'all hear this, G. You know what I'm saying? It's mesmerizing how these people do. You know what I'm saying? The plans that they got to put it down for how far they will go. You know what I'm saying? To make people, you know, actually slip in society. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it says, and the title of the letter is "The Secret Meeting That Changed Rap Music and Destroyed a Generation."
Damn.
So it says, hello. After more than 20 years, I finally decided to tell the world what I witnessed in 1991, which I believe was one of the biggest turning points in popular music and ultimately American society. I have struggled for a long time weighing the pros and cons of making my story public, as I was reluctant to implicate the individuals who were present that day. So I've simply decided to leave out the names and all the details that may risk my personal well-being and that of those who were, like me, dragged into something they weren't ready for.
Damn.
Hold on, let me.
So we gonna tell the story.
We gonna tell the story. We ain't scared.
You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do?
They after us, not just right.
Look, that black man.
So look, so he says between the late 80s and early 90s, I was what you may call a decision maker with one of the more established companies in the music industry. I came to Europe in the early 80s and quickly established myself in the business. The industry was different back then, since technology and media weren't accessible to people like that, like they are today. The industry had more control over the public and had the means to influence them any way it wanted.
Right.
This may explain why in early 1991, I was invited to attend a closed-door meeting with a small group of business insiders to discuss rap music's new direction. Rap music's new direction.
Yeah.
Little did I know we would be asked to participate in one of the most unethical and destructive business practices ever seen.
Crazy.
So this was the meeting. The meeting was held at a private residence on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I remember about 25 to 30 people were being there.
Right.
Most of them familiar faces. Speaking of those I knew, we joked about the theme of the meeting, as many of us did not care for rap and failed to see the purpose of being invited to a private meeting to discuss the future of hip hop.
Talk to him.
Among the attendees was a small group of unfamiliar faces who stayed to themselves and made no attempt to socialize beyond their circle. Based on their behavior and formal appearances, they didn't seem to be from our industry. Our casual chatter was interrupted when we were asked to sign a confidentiality agreement preventing us from publicly discussing the information presented during the meeting. Needless to say, this intrigued, in some cases, disturbed many of us. The agreement was only a page long, but very clear on matters and consequences, which stated that violating the terms would result in job termination immediately. We asked several people what this meeting was about and the reason for such secrecy, but could not find anyone who had the answers for us. A few people refused to sign and walked out. Nobody stopped them. I was tempted to follow, but but curiosity got the best of me.
That's right.
A man who was part of the unfamiliar group collected all the agreements from us. So now it's going to get to the good part because the meeting about to start.
Talk to him, Jake.
It says, quickly after the meeting began, hold on 1 second.
Get your popcorn, y'all.
Popcorn, you get your pistol, no sweat.
For real.
Quickly after this meeting began, one of the industry colleagues, who shall remain nameless like everybody else, thanked us for attending. He then gave the floor to a man who only introduced himself by first name and gave no other details about his personal background. I think he was the owner of the residence, but that was never confirmed. He briefly praised all of us for the success we had achieved in our industries and congratulated us for being selected as part of this small group of decision makers. At this point, I began to feel slightly uncomfortable and the strangeness of this gathering. The subject quickly changed as the speaker went on to tell us that the respective companies we represented had invested in a very profitable industry, which could become even more rewarding with our active involvement. He explained that the companies we worked for had invested millions into the building of privately owned prisons, and that our positions of influence in the music industry would actually impact the profitability of these investments. Then he says, I remember many of us in the group immediately looking at each other in awe and confusion. At the same time, I didn't know what a private prison was, but I wasn't the only one. Sure enough, someone asked what these prisons were and what any of this had to do with music. We were told that these prisons were built by privately owned companies who received funding from the government based on the number of inmates. Mm-hmm. The more inmates, the more the government would pay these prisons. Mm-hmm. It was also made clear to us that since these prisons are privately owned, as they become publicly traded, we'd be able to buy shares. Most of us were taken back by this. Again, a couple of people asked what this had to do with us. At this point, my industry colleague who had first opened the meeting took the floor again and answered our questions. He told us that since our employees had become solid investors in this prison business, it was now in their interest to make sure that these prisons remain filled. Our job would be to help make this happen by making music which promotes criminal behavior, rap being the music of choice. He assured us that this would be a great situation for us because rap music was becoming an increasingly profitable market for our companies. And as employees, we'd also be able to buy stocks in these prisons. Immediately, silence came over the room. You could have heard a pin drop. I remember looking around to make sure I wasn't dreaming and saw half of the people with dropped jaws. My daze was interrupted when someone shouted, "Is this a fucking joke?" At this point, things became chaotic. Right. Two of the men who were part of the unfamiliar group grabbed the man who shouted and attempted to remove him from the house. A few of us, myself included, tried to intervene. One of them pulled out a gun, and we all backed off. They separated us from the crowd, and all four of us was escorted outside. My industry colleague who opened up the meeting earlier hurried out to meet us and reminded us that we had signed an agreement and would suffer the consequences of speaking out about this publicly, or even those who attended the meeting. Okay. I asked him, why was he involved with something so corrupt? And he replied, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we can do. No, it's bigger than the music business and nothing we want to challenge without risking consequences. We all protested as we walked back into the house. I remember word for word the last thing he said. It's out of my hands now. Just remember you signed an agreement. He then closed the door behind him. The men rushed us to our car and actually waited until we drove off the property. Damn. So this meeting, bro.
Now that's a lot for a meeting right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this person later on, he said, this person actually ended up leaving the music industry after this happened. A few years after this, he ended up leaving the music industry.
Okay.
And he said he just like, over the years he just felt guilty because he said as he sat back and he watched these plans come into play, come to a reality
over 2 decades,
he sat back and was like, wow, they really pulled it off.
Yeah.
They really pulled this off. He was like, they were told not to sign any more political rappers, any more rappers that had messages in their music.
Positivity.
It was all to be gangster rap music that they promoted and put out.
So if you wonder where Brand Nubians went, where Poor Righteous Teachers went, where Public Enemy went, where KRS-One went, and all sorts of groups like that was talking, even Queen Latifah and Moni Love and those,
everybody.
It's a back door.
Yeah, anything that was harmless, fun rap, anything that had a message in it had to go.
Yeah, that's why if you even notice though,
we talk about that all the time.
Even be brief with it, those charms that came out like maybe in 1988, 89, the African charms, those disappeared. They lasted for about 2 years and they disappeared real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Now, after reading all this, it actually made me feel a few different ways. The first emotion I felt was shocked because I was definitely taken back by this, just knowing the level of evil that's involved by even thinking of a plan like this. You know what I'm saying? The second emotion I felt was anger. Anger because it's not enough for them to exploit our culture and make all the money off of it. Mm-hmm. Because let's keep it real, the industry has never been favorable towards the artists. Never. But they're going to go beyond the artists to get the artists to influence and lure in the consumer, which they knew at the time were mainly minorities.
Yep.
In other words, keep promoting gangster rap so that the youngsters will be influenced by them, which in turn will
all right.
Let them to want to act like them.
Go ahead.
And it's a very good chance they'll end up in their prison.
Yeah.
So they're getting paid twice. They're getting paid from the artists they signing, and then they're getting paid from the people that these artists influence that goes to prison trying to be like these artists.
Man, oh man.
Hip hop artists and
oh man. Now, did y'all just witness what I just saw? So, the reggae industry had a meeting, and they said that they was going to turn music, not sign anybody that did positive music, fun music. Focus on gangster rap and promote that. Because they knew that would influence criminal behavior because the music industry invested in private prisons. So that's a conspiracy on high level. Now, when you invest in a private prison, the private prison has to sign a contract with the state. And the state have to guarantee them so many prisoners to keep the contract alive because they get paid per bed. So you could do a minor crime and you got to go to prison because they need to fill that bed up. You can do major crimes. That's why a lot of brothers is in jail on some bullshit, and they wonder how they got there because they got a conspiracy to send niggas to jail to keep that contract going because they trade prisons on Wall Street. And the music industry, the labels, is complicit with this in hip hop. They're with this. It ain't even about knowing, because music guides the culture, and the music in the 60s led for civil rights revolution. I'm black and I'm proud. War. What is it good for? All these songs. 70s, the love songs, brothers married and romancing. Hip hop came to play. Hip hop used to be about partying, having a good time, talking to girls, just enjoying life. Then it got revolutionized with Public Enemy and KRS-One and Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and it had a major impact on me. I started reading books. I never read no book. I was a real nigga. I didn't want to read no book. Fuck reading a book. They sent me to this punk ass education to learn about punk ass George Washington. Fuck. The education system was weaponized for me not to learn. But when I found out that we was more to black people than what they hid under the bushel basket, what they hid in a book, I said, oh shit, I'm cold like that. I got the potential to do this. Let me read some more shit. Let me read some more books. That's right. They're just proving that every word Elijah Muhammad said is true. You're right. But see, our people get spooked out when you say that. Huh? What? Elijah Muhammad? That's too much for them. But they don't realize he's the reason why black people are proud to be black and called black. Okay? Black is the essence of all colors. You're the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Huh? I like a religion like that. Give me some revelation like that. But see, we've been made other than ourselves. What is yourself? Huh? You've been made other than yourself, Derek. It's a kind word saying that you've been made a devil, a black devil, made by a devil. But your nature is of God, so you got to come up out of that and throw away that devilish way. So there it is. But they weaponized the music. Man, that's some cold shit. So that was a meeting with white folks, but they was meeting with Satan. It was Satan up in there. And the dude said, hey, you can't be fucking kidding me, in the meeting. And the other dudes came and attacked him. And his friends came to his assistance. And one of the guys pulled a gun out. God damn. Can you imagine that in a meeting? And they escorted the dude out. And the head dude said, hey, you signed a confidentiality agreement. Don't say nothing or you're going to suffer the consequences. What could be the consequences? Could it be getting fired? Yeah. Could it be losing your life? Yeah. Well, I wonder how many people have lost their life. They quick to kill a person, man. You know, they do it on airplanes, poison you, drown you in a 3-foot puddle, strangle you and shit, and say you drowned in the shower. Oh, man. Say you died in your elevator like Prince. He was murdered. Yeah, I'm going to say it louder. He was murdered. Okay. Nobody said a damn thing. Huh? But anyway, we'll come back to that another time. They weaponized hip hop. So am I right? Just think about it. We're from partying, having a good time, to shooting up the party. Huh? Then the bling bling came in. I remember that Biggie Smalls, that Bad Boy, that shit was hypnotic, man. Right? Then the Death Row, the NWA, and the Snoop Dogg. And then they had the West Coast beef, right? And now they warring with each other, you know? And then Tupac died in Vegas. No one knows who did it. Biggie get killed in LA. No one knows who did it. And then, you know, the rest is history. All these other people come about. Now you got trap music. The name of trap music let you know you in a damn trap. And they signing all kinds of people right now. Sicker you are, the ignorant you are, you can get signed. How many bodies you gonna say you killed on wax? I killed 13 niggas. Man, you can't kill 13 niggas. CSI is real. And the snitches gonna tell on you on the street. Why you lying on wax, man? Huh? And all them people, Bobby Shmurda and all them, I remember Snoop caught a body. He got off thanks to Johnny Cochran. But he ain't talk that bullshit no more. He was a Diddy. Caught a body. Him and they put it on the other dude. What was the dude name? Shine. He did the jail time. Man, come on, bro. Derek, you say Ron Brown would have been president. That's why they shot his plane down. They said they shot his plane down. He was still alive. They sent in some, what you say, mercenaries or whatever, SEALs or somebody like that, and put a bullet in his head, killed everybody on the plane. Oh yeah, that shit was true. But he knew secrets that they didn't want to let out. Ron Brown was dope. Man, what I'm saying is this. Okay, why am I saying all this? So this is the reason why we have to put our own industry together. Not like Crazy Bone said, not bad enough they exploit you in the industry with your music. They own your masters. How you like that? Masters. Damn. Master recordings. They own your masters. Do you think, you know how simple it is, right? You can create your own music right now. Put your own shit out on your label right now and get all the money for it right now. You could have done that. Sam Cooke. Look at the documentary on Sam Cooke on Netflix. Sam Cooke had his own record label. He had groups under his label. He wanted his masters. He owned his masters. And the mafia came and told him, Sam, don't do that. Because the mafia ran the music industry, ran radio. And Sam was like, who the fuck you telling me? He was under investigation by the COINTEL program because he hung out with Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Lou Alcindor, Malcolm X. They killed him. Set him up. Yeah, he was a ladies' man. Some chick act like she want to give him some. He went to the Watts Motel. I know a dude got shot in the Watts Motel. He go to Watts Motel, get in an argument with some known black chick who worked for the mob, and she put some hot lead in Sam Cooke and got away with it. His wife sold his publishing to his lawyer because he had found out his lawyer was robbing him and he was getting ready to fire the lawyer. And she sold the publisher for 50 stacks when it was worth $2 million. This is in the 60s? So just imagine $2 million back then, what it would have been worth right now. Woo! Look, man, let me tell you this, man. I'm saying all of this to say, you right, Brother Curtis, it's time for black folks to rule. It's time for us to rule. We ain't got no more time to be bullshit. No more time. They killed Sam Cooke. That's right, Reginald Turner. Murder. He was ahead of his time, man. You got it. Oh man, he was the premier black entertainer of his day. And they murdered him because he was a businessman and he owned his shit. And white folks loved him and black folks loved him. And he had it all. Looks, he could sing, class, smarts, brain power, business mind. And they murdered him on purpose and took all his shit back. Wow. So they did this to Sam Cooke. So now the hip hop came up and they taught you how to be an entrepreneur, but then they made deals with the devil. That's why it's very key to let you know right now, there's no reason for you to be making deals outside your community. And I ain't saying black folks won't rob you either, because they have. They've been trained well because they're other than themselves. They've been trained well by the slave master, right? But you, right now, it's no excuse that you should not, in the record business or any business, understand the business of what you in. The internet, YouTube University, books on tape, books on audio. There's no reason for you to sell your soul, man. Huh? Oh man, I'm sad of the fact that they plotted and now all these dudes are in jail. Superman time. You sell powder cocaine and you get a light sentence. Rock cocaine, because that's niggas was selling rocks, and you get a heavier sentence. Kilos, they were throwing dudes in jail under the jail. There's some dudes that so far get 30 years in jail, life in prison for nonviolent crime. Look, let me tell you something. If you're selling dope to somebody who want it, Why such harsh penalty? Now they making marijuana legal, and the dudes that's in jail for marijuana, they ain't even let them out. They just was ahead of the curve. I'm saying all this right now because it's time for us to wake out of our slumber quick. Not now, but right now, black man and black woman. We got no time to be wasted. You waiting on a savior to come save you? You think voting gonna save you? I don't give a fuck who you vote for. All them presidents been racist. All of them. I ain't telling you not to vote, but what I'm telling you right now, don't expect a goddamn thing from none of them. Because all they do is lie. All of them. They lie. They come around every 4 years, huh? Like a dude just coming around chasing some pussy after he left his woman. Every now and then. Let me tell you, they lie to deceive you. And we just the biggest whores and stupid motherfuckers on the planet. Huh? You expect these people to do right by you when they had ample time and resource to do right by you? They ain't gonna never do right by you. They wipe their ass with you. Huh? Let me tell you what I said last week on my show. I'm gonna read this quote from Dame Dash. I like Dame Dash. Dame Dash is brash, okay? He get mixed reviews, but I like Dame Dash. He said some cold shit, right? And I posted it. Where's it at? Let me go. Where's it at? Hold up, because he said this shit. Where's it at? Dame Dash. Where you at, Dame? I'm pulling you up, baby. Okay. So he said a Jewish businessman told him, right, that, here we go. Jewish businessman told me, we call you black people liquid money. The same way that water falls out of a man's hands, money typically seeps out of the black person's hands the same way. Your community gets money and immediately gives it away to people who aren't black. And we see that as a huge business opportunity. What? But is the man, that was no racist shit. That was true. Huh? Our money stay in our community 6 motherfucking hours. 6 motherfucking hours. They bury you 6 feet deep. 6 motherfucking hours. 666. God damn. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Huh? You said Oliver North was the biggest cocaine dealer. Let me tell you, Oliver North just was facilitated on instructions by Reagan. That's it. He fell on the sword. He went a little jail time. He had a comfortable position. He got out, wrote a book, and he's paid. He ain't hurting for shit. He just was a good, loyal soldier under instructions. He sold and moved cocaine because they needed the money to finance the Contras in Nicaragua. And the Iran-Contra scandal. And then they moved that dope through Freeway Ricky Ross, who didn't even know he was selling dope for the government. And if it wasn't for Gary, what's his name? The reporter, who they killed, said it was suicide, but I don't know how motherfucker shoot himself twice in the back of his head and talking about that suicide. You think one time in the back of your head, you be done. Twice in the back of your head? Come on, and call it suicide? It's a movie called Kill the Messenger. Jeremy Renner is in it. And he talks about the whole cocaine scandal with Freeway Ricky Ross and how the government was complicit in bringing crack cocaine into the inner city, especially to curb black people in the 80s. Why? Why was it heroin strong in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, and crack cocaine in the 80s? Now we got coronavirus for everybody, and AIDS in the 90s and 80s and shit like that. Why? Why? Because they do not want to see the rise of black people. They understand who you are and they want to keep you under your thumb. That's why they break out these leaders every now and then to come calm your ass down when you get ready to hit the fan. They break out some motherfucker to calm down. We gotta pray on it. Let's protest. Punch the motherfucker in the face. Fuck protesting. I'm telling you, the best protest is keep your goddamn money in your pocket. Don't spend it with white folks. They only understand money. And then when you start using economics on their ass, we don't give a fuck who the president is, because we got paper. But we spend all our money in 6 hours. $1 trillion come through our hands, and we give it away. And we never see it come back. Shame on the fool. A fool and money sure part. And I can't even tell this to people in Atlanta because they'll probably stone me. Nigga, I got to get me a Gucci shirt. Nigga, hell with you, nigga. I don't need no land. I gotta have a Balenciaga belt, nigga. The hell you talking about, Derek Muhammad? You can't take it with you. I'm gonna wear it. The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? And these folks, man, is crazy. And that's right. There's no war in Afghanistan. The troops was there protecting the poppy field. They took the heroin from Afghanistan, and that's why heroin is strong. And we can't blame it on Walter White. We can't blame it on Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas. Heroin came back like a motherfucker, boy. White folks in the suburbs on heroin. Kids dying, talking about this epidemic. Well, no crack epidemic, you ain't care. You wasn't trying to get nobody no counseling when they was high on crack cocaine. Man, and they done this with music. Violence. Flooding gangs with guns and sighting them up against one another, and got all these informants in the gangs and deep cover spying on the gangs, starting shit. Y'all got to, man, watch COINTELPRO, man. I'm telling you, COINTELPRO, these people go deep cover. Did you know Malcolm X bodyguard was an FBI agent? The dude that gave him mouth resuscitation after he got shot was an FBI agent. They know who shot Malcolm, but nobody went fuck with him because he was protected by the government. My point is this. I can say this till I'm blue in the face. But what the fuck we gonna do, black people? It's the silent, loud, and cold war on black folks. And they weaponized our music. They took beautiful music like hip hop, was there to inspire, encourage people to do better and live their best life, and turn us into gangsters. And now, poor Cardi B. You know the curse of Cardi B right now? She put out wet ass pussy, talking about her wet ass pussy. She don't cook and clean, and she just filed for divorce today in Fulton County. Poor Cardi B. Them folks is using you. Joe Biden and them Democrats, them people in power using you, baby. They playing you like a fiddle, sweetie. Leave them motherfuckers alone. They just lying to you to deceive you, Cardi. I ain't telling you not to vote for them, but what I am saying is they using you. Your management is using you. Ain't a Jewish dude gonna allow his Jewish daughter to have a song called Wet Ass Pussy. He ain't letting his kids listen to that. But he don't give a fuck about your kids listening to it. They say, hey, you gotta sell something about gangs and violence and shooting and pimping hoes. That's what the culture wants. The fuck they mean? That's what they giving the culture to keep your ass lined up to go to jail. You just saw the report. We gotta inspire criminal behavior. We gotta keep the prisons flooded. So because the investment's there. They getting a rate return on bodies, motherfucker. Wake the fuck up, not now, but right now. It's a goddamn shame. It's a goddamn shame. And who said I ain't even in the music industry like that? Nobody else talking about this shit? What did he at? Jay-Z? 50? 50, you promote some bullshit too, truth be told. That power. You selling cocaine? Nigga, let me tell you something, man. If you selling cocaine, they know you are. You got a license to sell that shit. You got a license to sell dope. You got to pay a cop. You know, man, all this surveillance. What? Cell phones, face recognition. Google, location, and you thinking you getting away with that bullshit, you got to be a goddamn fool to be selling dope right now. Unless you got a license to sell dope. But when them people come, you going away. Unless you just working for the white people when they gave you a license to sell dope, there it is. Because they got to keep that shit popping. But I'm going to tell you, man, I want to do a movie. I want to do a movie on the hood where the dope dealer ain't making no money. Everybody stop smoking, stop drinking, stop getting high, stop eating pork, stop doing crime. The courts is empty. Traffic courts is empty. Matter of fact, you can't even find a black person. I want to do a movie where all the black folks ain't around no more. Only the Uncle Toms. Huh? Where did they go? We don't know where they went. We think it's conspiracy. Maybe the government kidnapped all the good niggas and put them in a FEMA camp. No, I just want to make them disappear and live in some utopian environment. At the end of the movie, you find it, and they living peacefully like in Wakanda somewhere and shit. And all you coon niggas is getting handled by the white people that they working for. That should be cold, man. Huh? Probably they call it a fantasy movie. But okay, Lord of the Rings is a fantasy movie. Huh? Because I'm going to tell you right now, we move the culture. We move the culture. They study what black people, black teenagers, particularly males, like, and they cater to that. But we don't have the hand on the money. We don't know how to monetize it. We all have to start supporting one another, supporting each other's music, our films, our product, our businesses. And once we do that, and this is us versus them. You sit there, you're so divisive. We can't do that. The hell you say? You act like you ain't never, you don't know. Did you ever know it was a time where black folks did not have to be around white folks because white folks was not on the planet? And we ran civilization far superior than what they ever seen before. Look at Shangri-La and Timbuktu and Mansa Musa. Man, come on, baby. Nubia, Kemet. Huh? Kemet means the land of black. I'm going to come back with another episode. I wanted to share that, this piece on how they weaponize the music. Share, hit like, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have not got a copy, I want to thank everybody who bought a copy of my book, Guerrilla Film Grind, How to Make a Movie for Little or Nothing. Is available at DerekMMuhammad.com. And if you want to donate to my Cash App. That's all good too. And I just wanted to drop this on you. I've been thinking about it for a couple of days since I saw this last weekend. And here it is. So now we know why we all fucked up. It was a conspiracy. But it's okay. We win at the end of the book. I already skipped to the end of the book. We win at the end. We just got to hang in there. Renee, you say, do it, Derek Muhammad. Count on me for real. I appreciate that, mama. Michael Gay, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, Reginald Turner, everybody that tuned in, Renee Portis. All right, and until next time, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows, and be extra good to yourself.
Thank you for listening to the Derek Muhammad Show. Thank you for listening to the Derek